Hi guys, welcome back, and hello if you are new. I hope that all of you have had a fantastic week and are gonna have a really nice bank holiday as well. I have to say I'm pretty knackered myself, so very much looking forward to literally just sitting at home playing Hitman and listening to a brand new record of the Alien soundtrack that's just arrived. However, I'm not here to talk about Alien or anything like that. In this video, I am going to be detailing my thoughts about Watain's brand new album, The Agony and the Ecstasy of Watain. So for those unfamiliar with Watain, they are a Swedish black metal band who I personally think really kind of spearheaded that movement of the kind of second wave of black metal. This is their 7th overall release and their first release to be with Nuclear Blast. So previous to this album, they released Trident Wolf Eclipse, which was almost like their version of like Rain in Blood. However, this record for me sounds a little bit more kind of like their Lawless Darkness era, a little bit of Sworn to the Dark, but also with the kind of progressive stylings of the Wild Hunt. So one of my favourite things about this album is just how varied it is. You know, I reference Trident Wolf Eclipse quite a lot because I really enjoyed that album, but for me it was very one-dimensional, whereas The Agony and the Ecstasy of Watain, I feel, is a great all-encompassing sort of smorgasbord of their sound to date. Ceremosa is a great example of that. It's quite fast-paced, but also has a kind of prog quality to it. And the second half of the track has kind of atmospheric keys and then has a solo that I personally think does a lot more damage than kind of the standard wah solos that are often kind of implemented in Watain's sound. And with that in mind, there is a hell of a lot of atmosphere on here. You've got the interlude track of Nor Son, Nor Man, Nor God, which is a great preface to Before the Cataclysm. And Before the Cataclysm is, I think, the album's real centerpiece. It's one of my favorite tracks. They kind of work in tandem, to be honest, to create one song, but I really like the way that it sets the scene. And then again, you've got this sort of more progressive leaning songwriting arc that is on Before the Cataclysm. However, combining the power and the prog is also a third P, which is punk. And I feel that punk has always really been very much at the core of what Watain's sound. And the song Black Cunt is as punk as you could get, but particularly in the riff. And I think the way that the riff comes in, it has that sort of kind of early Venom sort of, like proto-metal kind of thing going on. Watain's energy for me is something that really can't be tamed, and you've got Ecstasies in Night Infinite and also Leper's Grace that I think are, classic examples of like Watain just kind of like tearing through the listener. You know me, I'm kind of a proggy sort of, more proggy leaning kind of person. So We Remain really taps into that, particularly with the addition of Farida Lemucci, who is in a band called Molasses, which I really enjoyed. She also used to be in The Devil's Blood, I believe. So has a huge amount of like kudos, I guess, in the scene. But what I really like about this is that her vocals are kind of very psychedelic, very sort of otherworldly, and a complete contrast to Eric's vocals. The stories by the fire. overall idea of this record, I think, has really been well thought out. It's not necessarily bloated, which, as much as I love Watain, I think sometimes their records have been in the past. In many ways, I think that the Agony and the Ecstasy of Watain almost works the same way a self-titled record would. There's a lot of self-referential in here, you know, there's a lot of previous albums that you can hear, but also interesting new ground that they're kind of breaking. And I think it's really important that you understand that this power of Watain really is unbridled and really like untamable. But for me personally, this is my current favourite black metal album of the year. I think it's absolutely brilliant and one of Watain's finest offerings to date. So I hope you learned a little bit more about Watain and their new album, The Agony and the Ecstasy of Watain. It'd be great if you let me know what you think in the comments below, both the album and the video. I think I'm going to be reviewing Ibaraki, which is Matt Heafy from Trivium's solo project with Ishan and Nurgle and Jared Way, who gives a crazy performance. Anyway, tune in for that, which is next week, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care, my friends.